Once, in a distant kingdom wrapped in sunlight and song, lived a gentle king whose entire world revolved around his little daughter, Ella. Her laughter echoed through the marble halls, and her tiny voice would sing her mother's lullaby. "Sleep, my little moon, the night has come." The castle glowed whenever she smiled, but one cruel winter, her mother fell gravely ill, and the light within those walls dimmed forever. The king, broken yet hopeful, remarried a woman named Lady Tremaine, who pretended to be kind but was filled with jealousy and cold pride. She had 2 daughters of her own, Drizella and Anastasia, mirror images of her arrogance. For a short while, the kingdom seemed peaceful. Then, one day, the king left for a distant land, and the mask came off. Lady Tremaine turned Ella from a princess into a servant. She woke before dawn, swept the ashes, scrubbed the floors, fetched water, washed dishes, all while smiling through her wounds. At night, she'd whisper to the stars, "Mother, can you still see me?" Her only friend was a soft, mischievous cat named Tom, who'd curl up beside her and meow. "Don't cry, Ella. We'll make it through." Birds often perched on her window. Rabbits peeked from the garden. Even the wind seemed to comfort her, as if the whole world quietly loved her. Each morning began the same, chores, taunts, and scoldings. Yet she never lost her grace. Even covered in ashes, her soul glowed brighter than gold. Then one evening, news spread across the land. The prince was holding a royal ball to choose his bride. The city bloomed with excitement. Mirrors were polished, gowns were stitched, and every maiden dreamed of dancing under the palace chandeliers. "Mother, may I go too?" Ella asked softly. Her stepmother laughed. "You? To the royal ball? Stay home, child. Dreams like yours belong in ashes." Her stepsisters giggled. "The prince would never look at you." When they left, the castle fell silent again. Ella stood by the window, her heart whispering, "Just one night, just once, I want to see that world where dreams come true." And in that moment, a swirl of silver light filled the room. Out of it stepped an old woman in a cloak of stars. Her eyes sparkled with warmth. "Child," she said softly, "your prayers reached heaven. I am your fairy godmother." With a graceful flick of her wand, the pumpkin turned into a golden carriage. The mice became snow-white horses, the pigeons into noble coachmen. Then, with another wave, Ella's rags melted away into a shimmering gown of blue silk and moonlight. Her glass slippers gleamed like crystal drops of dawn. "Remember," the fairy said, "the magic fades at midnight." Ella bowed in gratitude, stepped into the carriage and set off toward destiny. The palace glowed under 1,000 lights. Music filled the air, and every eye turned when she entered. The Prince Leo stood frozen. He approached her and whispered, "May I have this dance?" She smiled. "If fate allows, my prince." They danced, and time itself stood still. The stars shimmered, the world hushed, and for a moment, it was as if heaven had descended to earth. But then, the clock began to strike. 12. The magic trembled. Ella gasped, "I must go." "Wait, tell me your name," the prince cried. But she was gone, leaving only one glass slipper behind, glistening under the moonlight. The next morning, the prince declared, "The girl whose foot fits this slipper, she is my heart's choice." Guards searched every home, every street, every heartbroken maiden. Finally, they arrived at Lady Tremaine's mansion. Drizella tried the shoe. Too tight. Anastasia, too small. Then from the corner, Ella appeared. "May I try?" she asked softly. The guards nodded. She slipped her foot into the glass shoe. and it fit perfectly, as if made by destiny. At that very moment, light poured into the room. The prince entered and smiled. "You are the one I've been waiting for." The castle bells rang, birds sang, rabbits hopped, Tom the cat purred with joy, and the girl once covered in ashes became the Queen of Hearts. That night, as the stars glittered above the palace, she whispered, "Thank you, Mother." Your little girl kept believing, because true magic isn't in the wand or the gown, it's in faith, kindness, and the courage to keep hoping, even in the darkest nights.